It's good behavior. Welcome to Let's Talk World. We love to support people. Social media shows promoting every single entity, or I don't want to call entity, I'll call talent. I call talent. We promote a lot of talent here in our internet TV channel. And, acknowledge good behavior. One of the biggest reason why a lot of people literally fall on their feet. One of the biggest reason is insecurities. When you are insecure so much for other people's look, behavior, wealth, or whatever other people has, then you started actually focusing on them instead of focusing onto yourself, what you can do better. And I don't actually acknowledge bad behavior. I always acknowledge good behavior. And sometimes I get misinterpreted with that, all right? I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for people's drama because I cannot even actually keep up with my own drama. How about my own fucking drama? Right? So I don't acknowledge those. I only acknowledge good behavior. And if you have a good behavior, even though sometimes you fall apart, I will lift you up. I will promote you as long as you want me to promote you. I will acknowledge your good behavior, not your bad behavior. I train so many people how to be in front of the camera here at social media shows. It's just because I've seen it all. I've done it all for 5 years. Here, day after day after day after day, I see people. I don't know if I tell you this, but some people actually, when I said lights, camera, action, you know what they do? They do this. Lights, camera, action. Literally, I've seen it. I think I still have that video on one of the hosts. When I said lights, camera, action, she just went sleep. Yeah, it's funny, but anyways, I hope you're not watching this, but well, I'm not gonna. It's the person is
dead.
No, nameless. But anyway, it's not dead, it's still around.
It.
But anyways, guys, here's the deal, is I build social media shows to support and promote every single person that I run into. That's why I keep asking people, hey, do you want to be promoted? Hey, do you want to be in front of the camera? I give opportunity to a lot. It's an opportunity for everybody to be in front of the camera and be out there. And I'm happy to do that. I'm really, really happy. There's no ulterior motive and there's no, any bad reason, okay? So you're welcome to come and join us, honestly. The only thing that I am I've been actually wondering for so long, for 5 years, I'm wondering, I don't know I have, if you see behind this, which is you've seen on previous shows, or not my show, but other shows, is you can see all my lights set up in here, right? So these lights, I don't know, I've been wondering what magic they have, because a lot of people, when I put them in front of the camera after 3 or 6 months, they get blinded. So I think they have some magic. I keep on saying this. I don't know what's up with these lights in my TV studio. There is a magic because having them in front of the camera and they've been, shined by my lights, they literally like blinded and their head or their brain literally gets colored and they forgot people behind that camera and they start forgetting who they really are. Why? Why? I think it is gonna be a Let's Talk World Funny show. But anyways, I don't know. Please tell me, maybe I have to change my lights. Or maybe take two or one, or maybe just one lights. I have no clue. I don't know. Tell me. Is there something wrong with the lights? Because the freaking brain goes cuckoo.
It's magical.
It's magical. That's what I said earlier. I think there's a magic on my lights.
It's enchanting.
It's enchanting. But anyways, guys, listen. We had just actually published one of the show, Modern World Ministry, which is called Image Driven Downfall. You see, especially for actress and media people, our money maker is this, right? Our money maker is this. But the only reason that you will shine is the real you, the real person behind that image. What is your mindset, who you are? I think it's very, very important to actually bring out the real you, because even though how good you look in front of the camera and with my lights, okay? It's gonna show, it's gonna actually come out the real person, the real, all the viewers on behind this camera are really smart. They can feel you, they can tell who you are, even though how much you fake it. So, talking about image-driven downfall, we shouldn't be literally worried so much of how we look from outside, but inside.
10 minutes later.
Yeah, 10 minutes later. There you go, cuckoo. Like La La Land, like delusional. For all of you out there, you don't know what's happening behind the camera. Behind the camera, I see it all for 5 years myself. How everybody, don't get me wrong, there's a lot more that really, really are real, and literally what they say who they are, they are. I've seen that. But so many so not many, but there's few of them that fall apart, and my heart goes to them. Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say, because they tried to actually behave the way they were saying about themselves in front of the camera. But then, like what I said earlier on the other shows, I have X-ray vision. I am the Wanda X-ray vision. But anyways, guys, well, I have few people, not few people, a lot of people that actually left social media shows in good terms. A lot of them, I think 95% of them left in good terms. And I always accept them back, because we had good times in social media shows, and I will still accept for those people who actually left in bad terms, because I believe that we all have scattered brain, we all have moody times, because sometimes life actually brings us down, and that when the times happen, I am there for everybody when they happens, and I always being understanding to everybody. So I love to acknowledge good behavior. When you have a bad behavior, don't talk to me, honey, okay? Because you come back to me when you have that good behavior again, because I am not talking to you when you have that bad behavior at that time. Otherwise, if you are a bitch,
If she's a bitch, let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time.
What I was gonna say is because you never met yet the best bitch ever. But anyways, guys. Well, anyways, here last week I actually talked about bringing up my good friend the who is in the Philippines right now, OG Silverback, one of the good people that I ever met. And he actually, before he left, we created or we did his show, which is called the Learning the Filipino Martial Arts. So he kind of teaching you guys how to use the airness. Shh. And then also using, like, he's gonna show you that huge freaking what do you call it?
Bamboo pole.
No, not bamboo pole. It is a knife.
Machete.
The machete. Shh.
Machete.
So yeah, how to hold them. So please enjoy the second episode or the part 2 of learning how to do Filipino martial arts.
Yay.
Man, gather round. OG Silverback here. Hey, and today, guys, I'm going to share with you some mind-expanding concepts from here in the heart of the jungle. So you might say to yourself, why am I in the jungle? Because the jungle is where you can unleash your inner animal and get in touch with your inner beast. Because even though we're human beings, we're still animals called mammals. Hey, so guys, this is part 2 of my series, Filipino Martial Arts, a Complete Fighting System. And for those of you that don't understand the concept of martial arts is actually a thinking person's philosophy. It's a philosophy of peace through war. And just like they say in Sun Tzu, The Art of War, sometimes the best fighting is when you don't have to fight. And with that being said, guys, there's some book recommendations that I want you guys to share with me as we go through this journey of being the best version of ourselves. The first book I'm going to recommend to you guys is by Joseph Campbell. It's called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And this is very important that you get this book as a starter, guys. I want you can either go onto Amazon and get it, or you can just do a Google search and look for Joseph Campbell, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And the reason this is important, guys, I talk to a lot of young men on my coaching calls, right? And here's the problem in American society, right? I just want to share this with you guys. A lot of you young guys get this immediate gratification. You watch a lot of Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and whatever you're watching, and you see all these young people that got money and they're on yachts and they're in bathing suits, they're in Dubai, they're doing all this stuff. But you don't know the backstory behind that. I want to share that. I want to share something with you. It's a thing called mastery. So what that means is a lot of these people you see on Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and the internet in general, they're showing you the finished product. What they don't show you is the work that was behind it, because I'm going to tell you something, guys. There is no such thing as overnight success. Now, you might be sold this on the internet, but I'm going to tell you the true story. I know a lot of people from doing movies. I've done music videos. I've been in the music industry as a background guy. And I can tell you, these overnight successes you see, they put in a lot of work early on. Like a lot of these young guys, maybe they started out at like 5 or 6 and they got one of those electronic organs. They were playing a lot and they got a beat machine. They were just messing around. And that's all they did every day after school. Maybe they were a geek or a nerd. But they put in thousands and thousands of hours. And then all of a sudden opportunity meets happenstance. They run into a producer or a director. And this dude has a beat that's already ready to go. And then he's launched. So what you see on the internet is, oh, this dude is an overnight success. He just wrote a beat and now he's famous. But they don't show you the hours and hours, the hundreds of thousands of hours of work put behind that. And here's why I bring this up to you guys. Because a lot of you guys who feel like you're unfulfilled, that's why you get into gangs and you sell drugs and you commit crimes, because there's a part of us, all of us want to be somebody great. And when you get this book here, it's called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. It tells you that there's a hero's theme, and that's why most of these movies, if you read this book, and when you start watching movies, especially like fantasy fiction movies, action adventure, you get to see there's a theme, and they steal it from this book. I'm not going to say they steal it, they borrow it from this book. And there's a theme of a hero's quest, because we all want to be heroes in our own right. And I remember when I was in Salinas, California, I had a good friend of mine named Henry Cortez, and we co-owned the Fighter's Corner. And this is what he used to tell me. He said, "Oh, gee, it's good to be king." And so one day I asked him, why do you keep saying that? He said, you want to put yourself in a position where you're the king of your kingdom or the king of your society or the king of the people that you associate with. Because he who is king has the best life. So I want to share that with you young guys who might feel frustrated, or you might feel like your life isn't where you want it to be. You have to determine what you want to be and how you can get there. You can do that with a coaching call with me. And I tell you guys, you got to start with this book right here. Because once you get this book right here, it'll tell you that you can be a hero in your own life. You can be the playwright to your own story. And you can be the producer and director of a life that you'll pinch yourself every day. And this leads into my second book recommendation, was The Secrets of Kalis Alistrimo. Excuse me if I mispronounced that, but I think it's Kalis Alistrimo. And this tells you the history of the Filipino martial arts. It tells you why it's important to learn how to use weapons, because once you learn how to use a weapon, then you can learn how to defend yourself against a weapon. And this is what I did when I was in Salinas, California. I took a lot of different martial arts, and the reason being is because once you learn the martial art, then you can learn how to defend against it. But if you don't know the actual martial art, how can you defend against it? So I recommend that you get this book, guys, The Secret of Calissimo Listro. And I recommend that you read it from cover to cover. This is not a reference book. This is a book. It has mostly a lot of pictures, guys. And it shows you the different techniques. And for those of you who are here in Vegas, I suggest you come down to Nak Muay Thai. We're actually teaching Filipino martial arts down there. And when you come down there, we're going to have you learn how to use sticks, knives, swords, and open hand. And what's great about the Filipino martial arts, the stick is just an extension to your hand. Because without the hand, you can't actually use the stick, right? And what's great, we use the stick because in sticks you can practice with sticks, but you can't practice with swords. The next one, guys, I'm going to talk to you about is the Filipino Martial Arts Anthology. This is a very quick read. It's an anthology of articles from the Journal of Asian Martial Arts. It's actually only 112 pages. I actually read this in one weekend, guys. And what's important is, I want you young guys to understand this. Like, I know you grew up with your phones and everything. You guys are always on your phones. Your phones are stuck to your faces from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. But I want to share with you a concept. It's called unplugging. And this is what separates the great people from the also-ran or the consumers. Because in this life, you have to determine, am I a producer or am I a consumer? And here's the difference. A producer produces content or goods to be bought or sold, and they influence society. A consumer is a person who buys whatever's available. And I don't want your life to be that of a consumer. I want you to be a producer. And you have to unplug from your phone, guys. Let me tell you the secret to success in the United States of America and globally in 2022. It's at least for 4 hours a day, you have to get off of your phone. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people I see when they get up in the morning, first thing they do is check their phone, and then they're stuck on it for the rest of the day. Yeah, they might have a job, but I'm going to tell you what I've seen. People go to work, and every time they get a chance, they got their phone in their hand. They're looking at their phone. They're not really focused on what they're doing. And the main thing in life, I want to share this with you guys. Remember this. It's called focus. You focus on one thing at a time, what's at hand. You put all your mental energy into that. And that's the only way you're going to be successful. Why? How do I know? Because life is so competitive. Everybody wants what you want. Remember this. Whether you want to be a rapper, a singer, a dancer, an athlete, a model, you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is you want to be, there's millions of other people that want the same thing. And so life is so competitive, and he or she who is distracted loses the race. This is a very good book. Like I said, it's a short read, but it really explains to you the history of the Filipino martial arts and why I've been so fortunate to train with the masters. And here, last but not least, guys, this is one of the best books I've ever read. It's called The Filipino Fighting Arts, Theory and Practice. I got this from one of my great instructors here in Las Vegas, Ariel. He teaches the combat Filipino martial arts here in Las Vegas. And he told me to get this book. And when I noticed most of the other students had this book, I had to go out and get the book. And let me tell you something, guys. I couldn't read this in a weekend because it's pretty big. It's got a lot of pictures, but it's got a lot of research you have to do. And this book goes up to 300 pages. And honestly, if you focus, you can read it in about a week. Because I understand we all have work. We all have school. We all have hobbies. We all have relationships with people we love. But in this life, guys, listen to me, young guys. And maybe your dad didn't tell you this, maybe your uncle, maybe you don't have a dad. But in this life, You got to determine early on at a young age what you want, and you focus all your energy toward that. And you only associate with people that are going to help you to get to your end goal. If you have friends, I'm going to give you an example. When I lived in California, I lived in Central California, right? So in Central California, it's right in the middle. You got San Francisco, let's say up north, and then you got San Diego, let's say down south, right? So if I'm headed to San Francisco, which is up north, I don't care how much I like you, how cool you are, how friendly, how fun, how excited you are. If you're not headed to San Francisco, I really can't associate with you because I'm going to do a geometrical straight line to where I'm headed to, and you got to get into this life where nothing shall distract you. Okay, guys, so if these concepts are kind of large for you and it's hard for you to wrap your head around that, I encourage you to reach me at ogsilverback971@gmail.com. Reach me over on my Instagram, ogsilverback971, or my YouTube channel. And most importantly, go over to my Patreon and sign up for a coaching call so we can help you get in touch with your inner animal so you'll be comfortable living in the jungles like me. Until next time, OG Silverback out.
Alright, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that Filipino martial arts with OG Silverback. If you guys have any questions, if you guys wanna do, wanna ask questions and wanna learn more, go and reach out to OG Silverback. He is on YouTube and he is also on social media, social networks. He has Instagram and Facebook and everywhere. Go and message him. He has actually a separate what they call that, media platform that he actually do a lot of coaching. Shout out to you, OG in the Philippines. He's not from the US now. He's in the Philippines. He is doing a lot of movies out there. Well, anyways, guys, I hope I didn't rant much here on the Let's Talk world. I try not to, but anyways, I love everyone, every single person. I never actually hated anyone. I still actually supporting everyone that is doing something. Anybody who's doing something, it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as it's progressive. Continue with what you think you can do better, okay? Continue to do it. I support you. I support every single one. If you want me to, a lot of people actually reach out to me and say, hey, Maria, can you share this? I share them, all right? I share everybody's post that wanted me to share. And so reach out to me. I am here for you guys. Well, anyways, that's it for the Let's Talk world here at Social Media Shows. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. See you guys again next week.
Yay!